Merchant Doctor here with your bank card broker's processing point. Welcome to part 3 in our series on how to understand the cost of your merchant services. Now remember, in part 1 we took a look at the absolute hard line, the bottom of the barrel cost, the point beyond which you cannot negotiate, called interchange. In part 2 today, we're going to take a look at the different billing methods that processors might use to bill you for their services. And finally, in part 3, we will examine exactly which billing method is the best for your business so that you can understand whether or not you're getting a good deal on your merchant services. Now, you might be asking yourself, why should I care about what method the processor is using to bill me if I'm getting a good deal? Rates are rates, right? Well, very wrong. So let me show you. So in order to understand how you're being billed, you first have to be able to identify the billing method that your processor is using. In order to do that, I broke it down into 3 major categories of the most popular billing methods that are out there today. Now, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, as we discussed in part 1 of the series, all processors have the same exact cost, which is interchange. So what that means is that they're going to come up with different and more creative ways to bill you for your merchant services so that they can appear competitive while maximizing their profits. So let's go ahead and get started with the ugly. Now, I called them the ugly because if your processor is using any of these billing methods on your statement, then it is time for you to start shopping for a new merchant service provider. So if you see bill back, enhanced interchange plus, one of my favorites, enhanced reduced recovery, whatever that means. Basically anything that has the word enhanced in front of it means enhanced profits for your processor, and it's time for you to start shopping. Then of course we also have blended rates and mixed rates, which are commonly used out there. If you are being billed in any of these methods, it's time to start shopping because they all make it very easy for the processor to hide rates and fees, making it more difficult for you to know if you're getting a good deal. Now moving on, we have the bad. Now the bad is actually the most common billing method in the country, which is tiered pricing. Now most people know if they're on tiered pricing, but if you don't, you can look at your statement and look for the words qualified, mid-qualified, or non-qualified. Or you can look and see if all your card brand transactions are falling into one of 3 percentage rates. If either of those things appear on your bill, then chances are you are on tiered pricing. Now, tiered pricing always comes with a per transaction fee as well. So when you're quoted on tiered pricing, generally they'll say, well, we're going to give you a qualified rate of 1.69 and 25 cents per transaction. Now, in reality, they tend to ignore the fact that there are a couple other rate categories in there, but that is tiered pricing. Now let's move on to the good. The good is interchange plus pricing. Now, a lot of people don't understand interchange plus pricing because the bills actually appear to be more complex. But we're going to dissect these two a little more in part 3 and identify which one is best for your business. To sum it up though, interchange plus pricing is very simple. We take interchange, which we discussed in the first part of this video series, and we add basis points onto it. Now, a basis point is 0.01%. So a very common markup is to add 25 basis points onto interchange, which means that you're going to be paying 1/4% above the interchange category for that card type on that transaction. And then of course there is a per transaction fee as well. Per transaction fees with Interchange Plus tend to look a little bit lower because they're actually getting added on to any transaction fees that are in Interchange itself. So you're going to be looking at a quote with Interchange, it's going to be like Interchange Plus 25 basis points and 15 cents a transaction. Now, you can identify Interchange Plus on your billing statement because your statement's going to be much longer. It's actually going to break down, or it should break down, all the different card types that you saw throughout the month, how much volume you did with each one of those, and what the cost on each one of those was. So those are the 3 major categories for the ways that you could be billed for your merchant services. Now remember, in part 3 we're going to come back, we're going to dissect the bad and the good and figure out which one is best for your business. This has been the Merchant Doctor with your bank card broker's processing point. Remember to stay tuned for part 3 in our series on how to understand the true cost of your merchant services so that you can get the best deal possible. In the meantime, jump on over to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and make sure you join or follow Bank Card Brokers so that you can stay on top of the latest items that are going to affect your bottom line.